John
Don't
Monaghan.
pull out all the
So that would have been my grandfather.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I think they were saying. That's right.
He had a moustache there.
John Monaghan.
I think that was it.
Now he was Tommy Monaghan, and he was in the British Army and fought in World War One,
That's right.
and injured at the Battle of the Somme.
Aye.
Now, was there much celebration when he came back, or what was the
No,
reaction?
Very hush hush. No,
Yeah.
no, there was no. People was again, you know, it's only now you know that they're talking about them things,
Right.
that they're celebrating it.
Yeah.
But a lot of them people's gone
Yeah.
and putting up memorials to them. But no, he was working in Scotland, Tom. He was working in Glasgow, and then there were a gang of them in a pub one night. I heard them saying, and there was a man in there.
It wasn't a
He
good
was a
one Marie
recruiting
I had,
officer.
wasn't it?
He
Good
didn't
one?
know, and he got a few of them to sign a
Right.
signature. And because the next morning they rounded them all up. He had their address, you see.
That's reacting.
He called at their address then, and rounded them all up and put them on a train to London.
Yeah, there was one, sure.
And they would have done a
Sorry?
crash course there in London
Right.
before they headed out to the front line. But
Well, what division was he? Was he in the Irish?
Guards.
Irish Guards.
Aye, that's right.
Right.
There was very few. He said, I heard him saying there was very few of his comrades came out of the Somme.
Right.
Very few. But he came out of it because he had that bad injury. And now Jimmy Hilly, he was on the post at the time, and Jimmy got to carry what he called the wire then out to Monaghan's of the law. And on it just said, it was to John, the brother, Tom Monaghan, injured, Somme.
Yeah.
That's all it said.
And no, does anyone have that piece of paper?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Oh,
I wouldn't think so.
wow.
That's all it said, it just Tom Monaghan, injured, Somme.
So,
That's
that
right.
always on commercial.
But he used to come every Christmas. And he,
But how did he end up then in the Isle of Man?
that I don't know. That's
Aye,
strange when it's
how did
right.
he get that?
Aye.
Title.
How he come to be there
Tom,
when it's right.
Tom IOM, oh, it was always known as Tom IOM.
So he went out early to the Isle of Man.
Aye. Well, he was in Canada for a while. There was a photograph taken of him in Canada
Yeah.
when he had a patch on his eye. So he must have spent a while in Canada.
Right.
And maybe then he came back at retiring age. Well, he sent us like a postcard from the Isle of Man one time. And
Right.
he says, this is Douglas after night with everything illuminated and night's dazzling.
Nice,
Yeah.
That's right. He phrased it well. Photograph of Douglas.
Yeah.
Aye.
With everything.
Did he get a British pension or something for being wounded in the Somme?
I would say he would have, you know.
Yeah,
there was no
I mean, that was a
traffic.
serious
Oh,
injury.
because he lost the side of his, he lost the socket, as I say, an
Right.
eye. It was gone back. You see, that cover went back to near enough his ear. It was attached to the glasses. So I would take it that he would have had a pension eye. That to me, that looks like John. This other man now. I'll tell you who he's like. He's like John Goller the Scrag. But John Goller would be, it's possible it could be John Gallagher's father. And he was a Johnny Goller from the Scrag. He lived behind it. He's a double for John Goller that I knew.
Right.
This woman, I don't know who this could be. Do you know? You don't know who?
No, that's
No. That's right.
yeah.
That's a picture, isn't
No,
it?
it's Tom Iowa.
That's a picture.
Show the photograph like that.
He liked his wee drop of whiskey.
Yeah.
In Francis, he used to. He always came up and had a.
Now, the other questions I just wanted to get was, how did my father end up in Crilly? And why?
Well, your father would have come up with the mother.
Right.
Daddy went down
I'm not just.
in the horse and trap.
So Owen went down, your father.
That's right. Aye. And
The house is
the
the
horse and
house.
trap. And
Excuse me,
your mother up.
the house, who, do you know the house? No?
No.
So Josie being only a child,
Right.
he would have
I've
come
had a
up with
picture.
them at that time. And whether Peter came at that time or not, but Peter came shortly after.
Right.
So then he stayed around for.
And then did some of them say with Packy the Rock's father? What was his name? Jimmy. Now, who made the decision that who stayed with Jimmy and who stayed with
Aye,
Owen?
that would be a hard one to answer. Like, I just don't know that. But Jimmy came out of America and he took over the place. But
Which place you talking about?
the Blacktown,
Oh yeah.
he run the Blacktown, you see, for a while. He did. But I took it that when the man of the Blacktown died, then that it kind of got out of hand, you know, as they said that there was a lot of people, good customers there, especially beemen
Right.
and policemen used to drink a lot about it. But then I think she was getting into poor health, your granny. And Daddy took her up. And here Grace saying she seen her out at the end of the lane one evening with your dad, wee lad. So she hadn't been up and about, you know, for a while. And then she took suddenly ill.
And she died at the house in Crowley.
She did.
Yeah.
Oh, she died in Curley.
Oh, she did. She was buried in Lettergran. Jimmy McGrath said he was at school the day that she was buried.
Is she in our ground?
Oh,
She is, that's right, sure, that's
The
right.
very cold days,
That's
just
right,
because
she's
Master
there.
Gaffney,
She's
Master
there,
Gaffney
yeah.
just took this old man in and a hat on him. He was out on the grave, standing on the grave. And it was your granny's father, my grandpa, he was a very old man at the time. He'd been in his 80s, but he was still alive, you see, when the daughter died. And he remembers him sitting at the fire, warming himself, and a hat on him. That was right.
And then my father, I remember one time we saw Jimmy sawing a field, and he was saying he was really rough on him growing up. That he was very hard on him.
And then maybe that is right. You see, Harry was hired out till James Carlin.
Now, from a hiring fair or just the
Not
family
all,
just
not
set
all
them
that,
up?
not all that sure now whether it's possible it could have been the hiring fair in Castledare. James Carlin was a brother of Philip Carlin's father, John Carlin, last mother. But he had a farm down outside Kiln, and Harry hired with him, but apparently he was a hard man to work for.
Right.
And maybe the food wasn't 100%, but Harry left them.
Huh.
And Harry came to ours. And the good Carlin, he arrived up at the Blacktown looking for Harry. And him and Jimmy landed at ours and searched the place. But they had bags of corn in what he called the back loft up there for drying. And Harry, he got in behind the bags of corn and hid. And they searched the place over, but he didn't get Harry.
Yeah.
And they went away without him. I think Harry was delighted, you know.
But what a tough life, huh?
Oh
Like,
my God, what a tough life is, right? But if Harry had got a fair chance for it, because he was a strong young lad, you know, if he'd looked after him good, he was a strong fella and a good worker.
yeah.
But then he stayed around our place, you know. He come and went, you see, like Peter would have done the same. And your father grew up. But then when your father come to school age, then Jimmy would have been in the Blacktown, you see, and he moved back down to the Blacktown and went to school from the Blacktown.
Yeah.
Aye.
I remember he was telling me that up to Scrahy.
That
He went to school up there.
that is right. Aye. But then Peter went to Scotland
Yeah.
to work and would have earned a bit of money there, and the smuggling then was starting up. Then Peter he put all his money in cattle and in the open out one night. Jimmy Monaghan, Jimmy Sean would have been there as well. Paddy McHugh, Jimmy McHugh, his father. Peter McDonagh and Jimmy Sean, the cousins, you see. They had 14 bullocks between them that night. And Daddy and Jimmy McHugh had 10 heifers between them. And then there's 38 altogether. Then the rest of them belonged to different people. But they left ours with 38 cattle. But they said it was information. They crossed the road there at Poor Barney Moss.
So they were smuggling the cattle from the south to the north.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. See, at that time you could have bought an animal in our draw, say at maybe a 3-year-old animal, maybe £3, £3.10. If you got rent home, so you're fair up there, you'd have doubled your money. So you'd be worth of it. So that's why it was so encouraging for them to smuggle. You know, there was big money to be got out of it. But that night was supposed to be one of the drovers that put them down. And they were heading for a place called Slavin Lane, which would led them on to Drumcone. But they had a man watching the road there at Slavin Lane, a Willie Haggerty. So Willie Haggerty, he came up and he met them on the Green Road, and he says, I'm afraid, he says, there's danger on the way. And he asked what was wrong. He says, on my way up, he says, I come over a bridge and I can smell cigarette smoke. Gosh, these didn't know he did that. He says, we go on. They pushed on anyway, but Haggerty was right. The police was onto the bridge waiting, and they were passing the time, they were smoking. And he did smell the cigarette smoke. And he was right enough. The boys jumped in out. There was 5 police. But the boys put up a fight now, Jimmy Monaghan and Peter and quite a few of them put up a fight, but then they overpowered them. And Peter got a bad beat. He got beat back ahead with a baton. Because Andy Travers said he seen him at their Grand Chapel the following Sunday, and the mother had bandaged him, cut the hair, shaved the hair, and put a bandage on. And she says, or he says, he seen him after Mass and at their Grand with a bandage on his head, and they were wondering what had happened to Peter, and he got into the row. But that was what happened.
Did they lose all the cattle?
They lost the cattle, all the cattle. That's right. And Peter then he lost all the stock, and then sometime after it, Paddy McHugh, he decided he had enough. He lost over 400 cattle in something like 5 years. But they decided then that they would go. Jimmy Monaghan, Jimmy Sean, he joined the State Army.
Right.
Peter,
So then the other ones, Peter and Jimmy went to New Zealand.
Peter and Paddy.
Paddy McHugh. Right.
They went to New Zealand because Philip was already there, you see, and they went there, and they weren't all that long out then. You see, the war broke out.
Yeah.
And then we got Peter and Paddy and Philip went down too. He was married and had one child at the time, Peter saying. He went down to sign on, but they wouldn't take him because he had land and he had a wife and he had a family, and they had to keep somebody.
Yeah.
See, couldn't take everyone.
Yeah.
So they took him in. No, Paddy was about 40 years of age, Paddy McHugh. And Peter would have been, well. They were past the age of being conscripted.
Right, to be drafted.
But still, they believed it was their duty, to go to the front. So they decided that they would join the army. That's what they did. He joined up with the engineers and sailed out of, where did they sail from? Now he told, Auckland. So come into, he was in Sydney, and then they went from Sydney round till Perth.
Perth, right.
Aye. And they had a big night, he said, in Perth. Peter, I heard him saying, they were in a Kerryman's bar in Perth, and they were all Kerry gear that was serving there. Aye. They had a powerful night, he said, and a lot of them there were having their last drinks in Australian soil, because there was some of them going to Burma. You see, a lot of them never came back into Burma. But Paddy said when they left Perth, then they headed out in single files across the Indian Ocean. And he said when they were passing, say, the Bay of Donegal, he could see the odd ship turning right, and he made inquiries. They were heading for Burma. They were going on straight. They went to Bombay on their way to Cairo. But Paddy told me father, he says, they were turning right. He says they were heading for Burma. He says they'd have been better off come with us. He says, but it wasn't their choice.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah, but very few of them, came back into Burma. But then they landed in. God, he says there's a photograph in Packy John in the mountains of. Now Peter's not in it, Paddy's in it, sitting at a table in a bar in Cairo.
Yeah.
And there was a rumour, he says, a rumour got out that the war was over. And they all celebrated. And the next morning, he says, they got orders to march. And they had to head out over the desert. And most of them, he says, had a bad hangover. But he says, he nearly died under the burning sun, he says, and a hot sun and heading for the front line. But the war didn't go over for quite a few years after.
No, well, they were captured shortly afterwards by Rommel.
That's right.
In the El Alamein after that, and then.
That's right, and then they That's right, Montgomery. When Montgomery made a big change when he came in.
Yeah.
That's
war
right.
change.
The All-Main, as he called it, the All-Main line. It was the it was the last one, the last ditch. If Rommel had crossed that one now. But the funny thing about it, that the people in Cairo was waiting on the Germans, because I suppose they were sickened with the British.
Well, yeah, they were fighting the British too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is right. That they were delighted that the Germans was making good, that they could be there shortly in Cairo, but that wasn't to happen now. No. Aye, Peter. That's right. Peter was taken prisoner, but they treated him good.
Yeah. No, I have his whole. I have like an hour of him talking.
All right. Right.
Yeah. You have it here too, like.
Yeah.
That is right.
He's good
But then it
talking.
was up in Italy. I think it was.
Peter, good talking.
You got one.
Showed it all
Yeah.
on CD.
But Paddy didn't come back.
Do you want a wee stool?
No, I'm all right. I'm just I got it mainly capturing here anyway.
Paddy didn't
But
come back.
you know what? Mainly I want to get it. When my mother came over in the early '60s, do you know why she came over and brought us over? Was it for her mother? I know she was coming over because her mother was sick at the time.
That's right. Your mother would have been writing to her, you know, she hadn't seen her from she left. What would have been
53 or 52 or something. Yeah,
that's right. Oh God, she was more than delighted to see Cassie coming.
yeah.
And the children. But there was a big night that night when we landed.
Now, where did they come in from? They took the boat, or no, they flew in. I think that time
I would say so.
to Shannon.
Aye. You see, it was different. The time when she went back by boat.
Right. I have pictures of us on the boat that going back.
Aye.
Yeah.
Now I'm not too clear on what way she came in.
Yeah.
It's possible she did come in. She did
Yeah.
fly in now, because I think they met her right up maybe in Dublin. Because we come down then, I remember, and Mary Jane was down at the end of the lane. And God, she was delighted.
Yeah.
She had her two arms in the air, celebrating that your mother had landed, and all the wee ones. And there was a big night there. Annie and John Gallagher and wee Tommy, as I say, Tommy Hannigan. A full house.
Yeah.
And Jim Coulter had been there. There was a bit of music, you see, as well. A bit of music. Jimmy McGraw was there. But, I suppose she felt herself, I suppose it was time to make it over
It
home.
was 10 years anyway.
Aye, that is right. So then, I can't remember when she came back, although she did come back now
Afterwards.
afterwards.
Yeah.
That's right. Because I remember in our house, a wee party, and Francis was there, and she enjoyed Francis a few drinks with him. He was, I mean, your mother, she would come out of Garrick Market, or and a couple of other, maybe hiding, and Mommy made them tea. And your mother was very hungry. And I remember Francis saying to her, he says, Cassie, you have a stroke to get yard. You know what I'm now saying? You have a stroke to get yard, he says. Stroke meant your appetite.
And Cassie, you would have went over then shortly with the other ones, with Susanna and Eileen. Did you go over together?
We went with Eileen.
Right.
Eileen, myself and Sarah Mary and Eileen went together.
And were you nurses at that time, or was it?
Well, what happened was Sarah Mary went done nursing,
Uh-huh.
an old church. No, Rush Green, and I went into old church, and I was a ward orderly. For how long? Which then I had to come home. Then after that, Mammy was going to Dublin Hospital, and I had to come home after about 6 weeks.
Right.
And
Where did Eileen go?
Eileen was there, staying in Susanna's, and where was she working now? It was so funny. I was telling you about Eileen. Eileen was so funny when she always ate an apple last thing going to bed, and she wouldn't finish it until she got into bed. And she munched, you know. She said, "Did you ever know?" She says that an apple is great for your teeth and great to make your teeth white. I said, "I never knew that, Eileen." She munched and munched away till she fell